Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Josh and this is the Amateur Reader. And today I'm going to be talking about The Will of the Many. Alright, so The Will of the Many by James Islington. This book is the first book in, I think, supposed to be 3 books. The second one will be coming out in November, I think November 11th. And essentially we're following a character named Vis, who starts out as an orphan, who you kind of get bits and pieces throughout the story that he is he used to be of royalty, but he now has to have like a secret identity to avoid being caught by um, the empire, I guess. And so we're essentially following his journey to just try and get through life without being caught. And we start, so nobody knows who his true identity is, and he tries to make money on the side, and we catch this guy named Ulkiskor, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Who's this, we come to find he's this senator that needs an heir, or not an heir, but like he adopts him to go to this elite school, and essentially as a cover to discover some secrets and mysteries about what's happened to his family, and uncover some secret weapons. So there's a lot of mysteries in this book, a lot of like secret stuff. It has a school setting. The first it comes in 3 parts. The first part, I would say, revolves heavily around like a training arc. We follow Vis and Ulkiskor. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And then his one of his assistants, or I don't know how you would describe her. Her name is Lanistia. Basically, it's a long training arc of her rigorous training on getting him prepped for school. And he goes to this elite school, and that's the second act of the book, and it's about him rising through the ranks. So he starts out at the bottom rank 7, and he has to try and get to rank 3, which I guess is the top. And yeah, we follow, he's going through it, trying to, like, the first few classes, they're super easy, and he's like flying through it, and he encounters some issues along the way. And I would say I don't have many gripes with this book, but there's a couple small ones. The first one being, he seems excessively capable of a lot of the hurdles he has to overcome. And there is some backstory to that. There is some reason to that you kind of get throughout the book, and a lot of it's uncovered in the 3rd act. But it still felt like a lot of his problems he had to overcome didn't have really any lasting impact, or like if he got beat down, he was just sore for a day or 2, and then he was recovered and back better than ever. So that was my only issue, really. My biggest one with the book is he felt extremely capable of a lot of the situations. And yeah, he's supposed to be like, have been tutored by some of the best in the world, and trained for like his whole life, but he's only like 16 or 17. I think he has his 18th birthday in the book, but yeah, so he is quite young. Anyways, besides that, the storytelling is wonderful. The plot is, like I said, it's about him trying to just get through life, and he encounters a lot of different people that have their own motives and trying to essentially use him for their own needs and reasons. So we see this book through the first person view of this, and it's about he doesn't really know who's on his side. Like sometimes people will outright say like, yeah, I'm just using you for um, whatever I need you for, and tough luck, or I'll reveal your secret, or do something you don't like. So yeah, you never really know about people's true motives, and that plays a lot into the theme of the book. So one of the big themes is about corruptibility and trust and honor, and so a lot of the hierarchy in this book revolves around people doing whatever it takes to just get an edge. And that usually attracts really greedy people, and doing things that kind of go against most people's character and kind of takes away from their soul, essentially. Another big thing is about trust. And so he has a hard time gaining trust or trusting people, but I would say the relationships in this book are phenomenal, because he has such a hard time when you finally have him grasp onto somebody. It's a strong relationship, and there's a few of them. One of them being Calidus, one of my favorite characters in the book, and there's another character that has a phenomenal relationship with him that I won't say anything because it's kind of a spoiler. But I really like how they did that relationship. It was kind of a rival to friend over time. Kind of seemed like a Draco Malfoy type character, but instead of just being evil or annoying the whole series, you kind of discover why he is the way he is, and how he's been suppressed. And so it's really good. There is a little love interest, and I felt like it was well earned. It was slow burning. There wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't until like the third act that anything exciting happened, and so it felt well earned. There's plenty of time for that to build and grow naturally. So yeah, I would recommend this to almost everybody. I am a pretty new reader. I've only read so many books. A lot of the series I've read have been in the YA fantasy area. So I think this is the perfect stepping stone for people that are adults, because there's some darker themes in this, but that have read a lot of YA fantasy, or like kind of like Hunger Games, Divergent, those types of like Maze Runner, those types of series, kind of dystopian YA novels, and want a next level up, kind of more adult themes, more adult writing, much bigger. I mean, this is like, I think it was reaching 240,000 words, and I want to say the average novel length according to Google for fantasy is like 90 to 120. So it's over double what a normal size novel would be. Yeah, I mean, that artwork is cool. I don't think the second book is gonna have the same style of artwork as this. There's a Broken Bindings version of The Will of the Many. I think it's going to be following that route, unfortunately, but maybe they'll release something similar for the next book called the Strength of the Few. And man, oh my gosh, the ending of this book is phenomenal. So there are twists in this book throughout the whole series. There's moments where I was just like jaw dropped, like, oh my gosh, did not see that coming. Maybe other people could see it coming, but I kind of like to go read a book like ignorant and just kind of go with the flow of things. So I don't try too hard to predict what's going to happen, but yeah, a lot of stuff I did not see happening. And what I really like about the book is that there was a lot of answers, or a lot of questions that kept popping up, like how things worked, a lot of world building questions that he was able to answer, like in the school setting. That's a very common way of answering a lot of these big world building questions. But I felt like it was done appropriately. I wasn't bored in the school setting. It was exciting. It was a very fast-paced book. It went from exciting event to exciting event to exciting event, and it didn't feel like too much. There was good pacing in between those moments, and yeah, the twists and turns were phenomenal. The ending of the book was really threw me through a loop, and I could see why some people might be like, wow, that it took a turn I didn't quite expect and not sure if I like it. I really liked it because it expanded on the world and made it much bigger, where the stakes and everything in this book were really good and really big for the story that I was trying to tell. I can tell that a lot of the stuff said was groundwork for a much bigger series. So there was a lot of questions laid out in this book, a lot of answers to some of those questions, but some of those questions haven't been answered yet. And I think it was done in a way that in the next books it will be answered, and you kind of got hints at what's happening. I'm trying not to spoil anything. I'm not very good at this, but yeah, it's just really good. Well, I think that's everything I have to say for now. I'm sure there's going to be something I want to add in as I'm editing this, but it's a great book. It was on, I got the recommendation off Patrick Leo's book, one of his book videos, and I was just like, oh, that sounds pretty interesting. Kind of has a school setting, dystopian. The prose is pretty simple. It wasn't overly flowery. It was pretty straight to the point. And yeah, but I didn't feel like it was like excessively simple. So yeah, good book. I can't remember what the score I gave it, but it was like 9 out of 10, I'm pretty sure. Around there. Yeah. Thank you.